Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second and final session of Once More Into the Void. Well, this current game, anyway. So, before we get into it, I will include a link in the description for the previous session in case you haven't seen it, and we'll start with introductions. So, my name is Jamie. They/them pronouns, please. I created Once More Into the Void in what felt like a fever dream. I just had to make the game. It is based on Star Trek Picard and Mass Effect 2. The idea is getting a crew back together in order to face an enemy once more. But there's a lot of intense drama happening between our characters. And speaking of characters, so this is a GMless game, and I am playing the Believer playbook. My character's name is Zuri Metra. Zuri is romantic, tragic, and resolute. She has pale pastel colored skin, long hair that's always getting in the way. It's also sentient, it moves, it can be used as a weapon. And she has stimming habits that help her focus. And we recently found out that she said no to someone who proposed marriage just for that one chance to be with the captain, which probably is not going to work out. Oh, and Zuri got a tattoo. That's probably infected. But it's okay. We live in a sci-fi future, so there's medication for that. And next, let's go. Ooh, I realized I should share. Let me go ahead and share the other screen so that we can see our characters. Okay, and we'll go next in, let's go in character keeper order. Let's start with our captain. So Maria, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and then just talk briefly about your captain.
Okay, I am Maria. I am playing Captain Atalanta Gray, who uses she, her pronouns. I also use she, her pronouns. So Atalanta Gray is haunted, fiery, and weakened. She has a charming smile, black gloves that hide secrets, which in her cases, she tries to hide her weakness, a wounded hand, and hair cut short to make a statement. She is a sort of tactical military prodigy who in the past won every single battle except for the one that mattered the most. So she's haunted by her failure, and it seems that she's kind of like, she tends to put the mission over her crew sometimes, because if it's the only chance to win, you gotta do it. And that choice has caused her distress and also other people distress, and she feels bad about it. But here's her chance to redeem herself, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And next we have our reform. So Sherry, could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Sherry, she, her. I'm playing the Reformed, Kova Sang, also known as Sharp. They, them, but she looks a lot like she, her, so she doesn't, she's not offended by those pronouns. She just doesn't think of herself that way particularly. She travels with a cat named Semblance, and her qualities are calculating, beautiful, and naive. Her look is a musical voice, mismatching eyes, and an irreplaceable family heirloom. So essentially, she is crystalline in nature and can reconfigure herself as she needs to. All of her people are that way. Um, uh, a, the captain was one of many who captured some of her people and herself. And it was the captain who tried to understand their foe at that time by essentially reaching out to them and trying kindness and to communicate and stuff like that. It failed miserably with all the others, but worked with Kova. And so Kova for a time was a member of the crew until things blew up, and then she had been running after that. Let's see here. She hides a crystal of her line that's filled with the salts in the crystals, seeds of her ancestors. She knows she can never go back, but maybe the new one can if all else fails. And that's her thing.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Yeah, and so we talked about Zuri, and let's go to Shade. So Puckett, can you introduce yourself and Shade to us, please?
Hi there, I'm Puckett, he, him pronouns. Tonight I'm playing Shade. It's been a long life. I'm tired, I'm angry, and I'm bitter. And the captain left me when I needed a captain most. Left me to die bleeding out on the battlefield. So when the captain tells you that they're more than happy to leave you there to accomplish whatever the hell they think the mission is, they're not lying. Thing you need to know about me, I always have a gun on me, and if you don't see one, you'd better figure there's 3. I don't know if I'm here to watch the captain die or help her along. Guess we'll find out.
Awesome. And let's see. So just in summary of what happened last time, I'll go ahead and share. Is that the right one? Okay. Yeah, so from the games, we went through our recruitment montage. And we also we went straight into Who Do You Think You Are? Where our believer and our broken had this conversation where it was revealed how naive our believer really is and how our broken is really just trying to protect her. And that's when we found out about the would-be fiance. And next we went into, like blowing off steam. Is that right? Yeah, I'm double checking. Yeah. We went into blowing off steam, where Zuri had the fantastic idea, not awkward at all, to get the tattoo that the rest of the crew has at the worst tattoo parlor in the sector that's attached to a bar. There was a bar fight that broke out. Like things went south really quickly. And also, very importantly, we had a complication introduced where we found out that our captain, one of the reasons they left behind Shade was because they were trying to catch up with someone else, right? With did I write down the name here? I remember it was similar to Kova.
I think it was like Kovac.
Yeah. There we go. Exactly. Yeah, and so we know that she's here. We're going to talk about her or them in a bit to find out more about them, but that is a definite complication. We have someone else who has joined our crew. So what could possibly go wrong? So technically what that means is from a mechanical standpoint, Puckett and I took our turns as characters. So that means that Sherry and Maria get to choose a game, and then we're going to have one more round of choices, time permitting, and then we're going to go into the final mission. I think we should be able to do it today, especially because my internet has been, I'm glaring at my router right now. My internet has been better. So hopefully things will be smoother today. Yeah, so Sherry, do you want to start or do you want to get the captain to do it?
Oh, let's see here. I almost think I need to go, and I'm thinking that it makes sense to say only if we have time, Captain. So this is a setup is that play the game with the captain. Captain doesn't get to choose to play this game. And it can only be chosen once per player. Others can join in freely if it makes sense for the characters to also be present or engage in this mission. During the away mission, anyone can ask for details about the relationships and circumstances. So, it says conducting the away mission, the player initiating the mission follows the stages and their instructions. I haven't read this at all, so I might, bobble my way through this. I apologize.
Oh no, this is perfect. It's
Okay.
The game is meant to just be picked up and played.
Okay.
So if it works as intended, it should be fine.
All right, great. So the player can decide to withdraw at any stage at any point, choosing to fail the mission. Captain makes choices or answers questions when asked to. When asked to draw cards and interpret them, they do so intuitively. So, and we end it once the away mission and debriefing have played out. Both the captain and the player will draw 2 cards each for the loyalty draw. So that's a thing. But to start it, it looks like I seek out the captain and steal them away from everyone else. So, Captain, what task am I interrupting?
I am on the bridge of the ship looking over our course that has been plotted.
Right. And to some extent, we aren't that sure of exactly where we're going. This is a faith-based mission. So, so Captain, how does my distress and worry show?
Maybe you are more agitated than usual. Like maybe your crystals are flexing and I don't know if they I'm imagining a berry crystal. I don't know if they extend or not.
Yeah, I think so. I think they can do. She's a shapeshifter, so they probably do all sorts of things when she isn't controlling them explicitly, right? So, yes, they probably reach out and then she pulls them back in when she realizes. So I get to draw a card, and then that's gonna reveal to us what I was actually asking for. So, did someone draw that king, or did I?
Oh, I think it was there last time. I just moved it to the side.
All right, excellent. Then I think I pulled an ace. Oh boy, what does that mean?
Ooh, an ace of what? Let's see.
An
ace of hearts.
Yeah. So I failed the last time I tried, and I show you the scars from it.
Wow. There are only 4 aces in the deck, so that's intense.
Is this relating to is it an ace of hearts, so it also relates to the mission above?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
So it's 2 things. So it's a mission focused on relationships, emotions, or making amends. Very apt. But it also is that our reform failed the last time they tried.
So let's see here. Wow. And the mission inherently is we're going to be fighting my people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she stops and she says, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Make what? Speak your mind, Sharp.
And she goes, where we're going, what we're doing, I understand that you have to stop them, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm here for you, but there's not much left. I need to get to a place where there is no one who will contest a child. A place with life, but not sentient life.
Child?
And she'll sort of hold her hands out, and you'll see her chest kind of open, and like there's a, but she's holding her hands out because what happens is sort of tumbling of crystals and things like that. And the stuff, and she goes, the vial, and she'll point to it. She goes, it's almost empty. I have one last chance.
Does it have to be now?
It has to be before we go, before we meet them, before we meet them.
Is this your only chance? None of the past attempts have worked?
And she holds it up again, and she holds like this vial up into the light, and you can see that it's like been sealed and resealed, and there's just this little bit there of the stuff. And then you can also see that there's like slices in her wrists, and as you look, you see they're all over, and there's just these slowly coalescing drops of the same liquid, like she's used the last of her own to put it into this jar and seal it back up again.
Why didn't you tell me before? Why didn't you refuse when I asked? If you knew, if you felt this way.
She goes, no, I know that you're right. We have to stop them. We have to stop the push. We have to make it clear that they can't just do this. But I'm not going to make it.
And so you would leave your child alone?
She kind of looks and she goes, it already knows what I do. If it can survive. If they can survive. If we can survive.
And I think Atalanta just like does that thing where she like drops her head into her hands and looks at the floor for a while.
And she goes, I have tried. I have gone. But people see, they know what I am, and they follow. This is the furthest away I have been from. No, this is the closest I have been with friends. You'll prevent the suspicious ones from running me off again.
At like the friends, the captain like looks up and like squints a little and then says, "We don't have that much time. We can't stray too far. We need to keep moving forward. We have to keep going, but if this can help bring peace in the future, if we fail this time, then..."
I've already calculated 3 possible destinations.
Which one's the closest?
And she will show you a place.
Okay.
Very cool, very cool. And I think that means we move on to stage 2.
Let's see. Need to prepare, but I'm distracted. I choose you answer. Let's see here. I think we spend some time together, and you finally see how much time has changed me. What part of me from the past is gone forever, and what has taken its place?
So we probably are like getting a shuttle ready or something. And maybe I see that that in the past you looked at things with so much curiosity, like everything was new. But now that that time has passed, it's sort of, I see more purpose in what you're doing instead of, oh, this is exploratory. I am noticing like qualities about it. Now it's more, I know what this is and I know what it's used for, and I will do it super well.
Okay. So there we go. And then we do a loyalty draw?
Ooh, then we go to the next page.
Oh,
On
gosh.
page 3.
That seemed kind of abrupt, but I was cool with it.
Yeah.
Okay, the captain and I leave the ship. Whoever wants to come along does as they wish. So, who else comes along, if anyone?
Yeah, I think Zuri's definitely going to come along, and Zuri's very excited at the prospect. She has heard there's like banned research on the subject, on what's happening with your with this crystalline reproduction process. But Zuri is also completely naive and blind to like the intense like stuff that's going on between everybody.
Okay.
How about Shade? Is Shade going to come along?
Let me get my gun. This is guns.
I also feel like should Kovac come along?
That would be a call for the captain. I only require that the captain is there.
What are we saying that their role is? Aside from complication.
What other role do they need?
You were chasing after Kovac when you left me to bleed out.
Right.
You had a thing with Kovac.
They were good at fighting and knowing things.
And you had a thing with them.
So, but here's the thing, is it's someone that you would have valued highly, right? So someone had skills that you didn't or that you needed.
Right.
So we're probably talking about a tactician?
Yeah, or like a navigator.
Yeah. Or a particularly skilled pilot, like people who really knows the ship super well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like my relationship with them did not end very well because I have avoided them for this long. But
yeah.
Maybe our destination is hard to get to and we need that skill.
Yeah, you asked which was the closest, not the easiest to get to.
Yeah.
You have to go through, some terrible debris field or something like that.
Yeah. That's near like a star that's about to collapse, but it hasn't started yet.
Oh, that's yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So they're the best of the best. I also I feel like in terms of what they look like, maybe the opposite of the captain. So long black hair, dark eyes, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So the next question
is, what weapons or equipment do we bring? We know that Shade has brought guns, so many guns. So we are set there. I am going to guess that we are going to bring some drilling equipment or excavation equipment of some sort.
We would bring that if Kova Song desires it.
All right. And anything else that anyone needs?
I probably have my gun.
I have my enthusiasm.
This is all that we need. This is all that we've ever needed.
Absolutely. That's what Zuri believes more than anything.
It's true. And then what do we see as our shuttle flies close to our destination? So I do think that we have to have the requisite, like, flying through the hazardous space environment, right? So
Yes.
it has to be harrowing, where we all tilt around like this.
Yeah.
I get thrown back and forth as the camera like moves.
I have to be in like my pose on the captain's chair.
Exactly.
Um,
Then I think as we come in, we do see a planet that's definitely like got a lot of organic life on it, but it's also got a lot of volcanic action on it. So you know that there's, all of the sort of high heat rock formations that go on that are particularly good for creating crystals of different kinds. And that's the other thing that kind of is the thing is, as we get down there, she sort of picks the destination is very, very close to a volcano. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we got to draw some more cards. Let's see. We take turns describing how the mission goes based on the cards drawn. Anyone in the crew, even if they're not physically present, may spend one token to discard a card and draw another. Okay, so after Ace of Hearts, let's see what we can do.
Are these drawn one at a time or?
Yeah, one of those. Oh, well, we
Okay.
can draw all of them now, so that
Okay.
we can like. Okay. Ooh.
Oh
8
no.
and Jack. I'm not having seen this, so this is great. Okay, so is this all spades? Got clubs
Club.
and club, spade, club.
Yep.
So clubs, I choose one of us goes too far and gives into our passion. Or they're explosions. No, there have to be explosions. Lots of them. So I think that when you get down there, it isn't that long before you see her sort of what do you say? Stop, consider, and do something, like drop something into the magma, and then keep on walking. And then things start going. Like she's dropped something that's ramped up the volcano thing, and you can see underneath a lot of the magma drains away, and there's a whole bunch of crags and areas opened up that weren't before. Everything's still steaming hot. But you can see that essentially it's drained away deeper below the crust again, and it's pretty clear that she's going to go off into that area where there was a bunch of magma and go into there to take care of this. So, but explosions in the meantime. So,
did you give us advance warning that this might happen? Or is this so natural to you?
I think it is pretty natural. Like it didn't even occur to her. It's not dangerous to her, and she's distracted enough. So
yeah, I think Zuri does that weird anime moment of over explaining what's happening. Like
I love those moments. Okay. So yeah, and I do think that is the sort of thing that throws everyone off. She clearly has a sense that she has to go in, and she is incredibly unaware of or not paying attention to what you guys can do or not do at this moment. So this is just super important to her. Okay. So, and then the next one.
And then the captain will describe what happens based on the spades. Oof.
On the spades? Oh, yeah. Okay.
The next card is, am I right?
Yeah.
Jack of-
Yeah. Oh, and it's an awesome one.
Does the Jack matter? A royal?
No, not
Oh,
in
okay.
this case. Mhm.
Let's see. Oh no, one of us is badly wounded. What obvious scar does it leave? And we are betrayed by someone or something. Why won't we believe it?
So which one do you choose?
These are so such a choice. I think it makes sense that one of us is badly wounded, because we are sort of in this volcanic area with explosions happening and it's hot. Which one of us is badly wounded?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, your choice, Captain.
It's my choice.
Yes. This feels so apt, by the way.
Yeah.
So horrible.
I'm going to say Zuri gets badly wounded
Oh no.
because she's been probably like, I'm imagining that Kova is in front and then all of us are sort of behind, and maybe Zuri and the captain are like standing under or next to like a rim where there's some magma, and maybe there's just a splatter that comes and catches Zuri on the leg.
Yeah, actually, I was also thinking maybe like what happened was it was about to hit you, and I've noticed how your reflexes are slower because of that bar fight. So my hair goes out to protect you, and that part of my hair falls out. Like it won't. It's died basically of that part of my head.
Oh no. So is it going to be like a burn scar or just...
Yeah, I think later it's gonna be like, like I had to shave off that part of my hair.
Mhm.
There's gonna be the scarring underneath. But yeah. And Shade is gonna be so mad because this is exactly what Shade asked to not happen.
Yeah.
It was the cards. It wasn't us. Okay. Oh, that's terrible. I feel very bad that Zuri. I feel very bad that Zuri took the hit. So let's see here. And then clubs again, correct?
That's right.
So the first explosions were planned. We could do spontaneous explosions, or we can have one of us goes too far and gives in to our passions. That feels like bossy pants with me right now. So let's see here. How about more explosions, but this time not planned at all? Where essentially you see her disappear into one of these caves. There's no way you can go for how hot it is unless we brought suits, and I don't think we did. So, and she comes back, and she seems to think everything's fine, and then you just hear the volcano rumble, and it's one of those things where the crust that kind of was there starts to give away, and yeah, and I think that essentially it's a frantic run, where she can help a little bit to help you guys get back to the next thing, but yeah, it's pretty bad. It is. It's like by the skin of our teeth, right? So I think that's what it is that essentially she looks back and she doesn't know if it's going to work. It's definitely what you get, because everything that she's done, it's all changed. And plus she's run you through all of this, which wasn't the plan. All right.
Absolutely. Cool. I love it.
Okay. So we have a thing of, from the 3 cards drawn, we take the highest and narrate. So for a 10 or royal or an ace, what do we have? We have a
We have a
royal.
royal at the highest, which was also the card that got Zuri her scar, but it was worth it. We have
Oh,
a
I'm so-
royal.
So how, it goes off better than we hoped. How does it inspire the rest of the crew? Oh, okay. So how about this? As we get back to the shuttle and we're taking off, as we go back, we look at the volcano, and we can already see it scaling over with the crystals, like they're already growing up, and there's a sort of pattern around them, similar to some of the patterns that you see she repeats in her crystals that she does. So, and how does it inspire the rest of the crew?
I think for the captain, as we're standing at that like window, like she'll put her hand on like a hand on your shoulder and just be like, it worked.
And she goes, finally, let's go do this thing. Let's go show them.
Absolutely. And I think for Zuri, like Zuri is also, despite everything, is inspired too because according to her research, she knows that this means good things for this species, for this race, in terms of reinvigorating or healing the race overall, which could mean something better for our final mission.
All right. And stage 4, the debriefing. Let's see here. So I choose. I think it's time for me to say things left unsaid, and I kind of approach you and I say, Captain, um, you were kind to me. I was curious, but at any time I could have left. At any time they called for me, I could have left. But I shut them off. I wanted to stay. I wanted it to be like it was, that we did these things together, that I was important myself to you. Oh, I was selfish. And I'm still selfish.
Kova, you are important. You're important to all of us. We hoped that you would help us end this conflict. And you've stayed with us for so long, despite everything. And you came back.
And she stops and she goes, "No, you don't understand. I'm selfish. Something I'm not allowed to be."
You
But I am, and it's wonderful.
The captain just looks at you quizzically. It's like, I will never understand. Exactly.
She goes, "I know, because you've always been yourself. You're selfish. All, but it's so." And she kind of looks back and she goes, "They're all of a piece. We have lines and veins and crystal shapes, but not selves." And she goes, "That is what we have to transmit to them. That is what will shatter them."
And you would do this for yourself?
I do this for what time I have left and for what we've left behind.
And so the question is, what promises do we make to each other, and are they sincere or foolish?
I think that I promise her that it can work. And of course, it's foolish, but I do.
And I think that the captain will promise to do whatever is in her power to keep what they've left behind safe. And she's sincere about it. Assuming they survive.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's sincere / foolish. Okay, so that is the end of, which means that we get to our loyalty draw, and you draw 2 cards each because it's a loyalty mission.
We each draw 2 cards?
Yeah, so it's 4 cards in total. It's quite a lot.
Wow. Okay. So why don't you go first, Captain?
So I drew a 4 of hearts and a 10 of hearts. So that's 4 tokens total.
Ooh. Yeah, I think so. Let me double check the math. Yeah, what did you draw again? You drew
a 4 and a 10.
Yeah, that is 4 tokens and no complications. So
I think I will give. Oh wait, no, it's the player. That's
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's shades.
Yeah. And then, but she can also draw 2 cards.
Okay, I draw a 3 and another 3. So that's 2, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 2 in total.
Yeah. So 2.
So 6 total.
Yeah, so I give them both to you because I need you to survive.
Oh, we have 6 tokens in 6 tokens in total. Is that right?
Yeah.
From your draws. Well, okay. So how many do you give to everybody?
Oh,
between the 2 of you, I mean.
Oh, I give my 2 to the captain.
And then take the rest.
No, I give them all to you. Sorry, I give them all to you.
All of them?
Yes.
That's so many tokens.
That's right. You're going to need them, though. Yeah.
Oh, I have 12 tokens now.
Oh, how do you think this reflects how the captain is feeling, considering yeah, this is an interesting thing I didn't think about, but basically the tokens represent, I'm going back to that part of the Let's see. Where is that section where I wrote? The tokens you collect represent your loyalty to each other, forgiveness for past sins, hope blossoming in the darkness, the readiness to give second chances, and how open your heart is. So, considering how the captain is slowly shifting and changing, how do you think this is reflecting in you? Like, it doesn't have to be an outward thing, but
For the captain, I
yep.
think it's like still part and parcel of the crew. Like she feels that in Zuri she has this like hopeful, optimistic, perhaps almost dangerous sense of loyalty from her. And then from Kova, it's this newfound respect maybe for what Kova is doing as part of formerly the enemy, who is now willing to to share these insights into what it's like to be part of something that isn't just themselves. It's like a broader thing. And so like that sort of openness between Kova and the captain has like sort of made the captain feel like maybe there is a way that this doesn't all just end in horrible death.
Yeah, considering what we went through at that loyalty mission and how intense it got, but it was still a success. So uh, that's definitely something. Okay, so we're almost at the top of the hour. So how about we take a break until the top of the hour, and then we'll get to Maria's choice for
Sounds
Atlanta Gray's
good.
game. Awesome. See you guys then. All right. Okay. Checking in. Is everybody back? Bucket, are you there? All right, there we go. So, after that intense loyalty mission, Maria, do you have an idea for what Adelanta Gray would be up to? Which of the games call out to you?
I was picking, but I think for this round, I will pick only one shot to make it right, the training montage.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think after we have run away from our side trip, I probably feel like as captain, we should make sure that we are prepared to face whatever we have to face. So the setup is everybody plays, everyone decides how they are training and what circumstances lead to the training. During the montage, anyone may ask for details about the locations, relationships, or circumstances. So conducting the montage, go around the table. Each of us gets 2 turns. The one who has the most to prove to the crew goes first. On your turn, choose a challenge you're facing and who could help you or hinder you. They answer freely. And then when everyone has had 2 turns to make challenges and it's come back around to you for your 3rd turn, choose an end to the training montage and choose one that fits the energy and mood best. After the training montage, remind everybody that if they feel they have to address something, they should bring it into their next game. And everyone draws a card for the loyalty draw. So who has the most to prove to the crew?
I think it depends on how. Let's see. It could be Zuri with her inexperience, but it could also be the captain having to prove the shade, right? So, what do you think? I'm open to other answers.
Yeah. Does anyone else? Does the crew have opinions on who needs to prove something?
I think the captain has something to show to all of us.
Cool. All right. In that case, the captain, will choose a challenge. Let's see. I think I am going to choose the challenge. I ask you to spar and I go harder than I intended. Because I think that after the bar fight, I left the crew to deal with it on their own because I was obviously unprepared and unready to get into physical combat. And I think I ask Shade to spar with me because I consider Shade to be an extremely good fighter.
You sure you want to do that? Our Kovac?
Oh, I'm trying to avoid Kovac. It's a hard choice who I want to avoid more. Yeah.
Must be real shitty if you're choosing me over Kovac.
Look, I planned on taking you onto this crew. I had no plans on bringing Kovac on board.
Some things never change.
We left.
Still don't know how to talk to him.
We left in not the best circumstances. And
we left under such fantastic circumstances. Parting was such sweet sorrow.
And now you see why, if the circumstances I left you in were better than the circumstances I left Kovac in, then that's why I'm coming to you. Now, will you spar with me or not?
Why not? Been waiting for an excuse to kick your ass.
I have no doubt that's what's going to happen. I just need you to help me get better, stronger.
Faster.
And I think the captain kind of just like holds out her hands in front of her and pulls off one of the gloves, and it in her hand is like noticeably less filled out than the other hand. I don't know if it was like a particularly bad burn. And she says, I need to learn how to deal with this and not have it get in the way.
Duct tape. Duct tape fixes everything. Duct tape a gun in your hand and you're not even going to notice.
And if they disarm me?
Well, that's what the duct tape's for. Hell of a lot harder to do when it's taped to your hand.
Yeah, then I'm just down one arm, I guess.
What do you mean down one arm? You got a gun in it.
I think the captain like shoves the glove back on. And she's like, just don't tell anyone, please.
So you're asking me not to tell the crew. You aren't even close to 100%.
Yes.
When you're taking us on another suicide mission. And you're even less ready than you were last time.
We thought we were ready last time. By all accounts, we were ready.
So, go on. I really want to hear this.
We had Kovac on our side. We had you on our side. We had all the intel. We had Kova, one of them, on our side. They were just ahead of us somehow.
So now we're understaffed, outgunned, not at 100%, don't have the intel, and you think this is going to be a better outcome?
It's a chance. And if you help me, I can get closer to 100%.
Fine.
So the questions are, do you keep up with me and disarm me, humiliating me? Or do you take the worst of it, leaving me guilty? And I don't think it's that like I'm actually physically going harder. I think I'm going harder than I should go. Like I'm pushing myself more than I should.
Okay.
So it's a little twisted, I guess, the way I read that.
So basically, you are working out beyond your spoons.
I think so.
Okay. I think Shade is going to sweep your legs, pushing you over backward, while grabbing the gun at the same time, flipping it around and putting it in your face.
And I just like lie there with my hands kind of like sprawled behind me. She said, and this is supposed to help me how?
I told you. Duct tape. You had this taped to your hand, I couldn't have grabbed it from you. You'd be laying on your back with a gun in my face. Instead, who's got the gun and whose face is it in?
And I'll try and shove you off. And like, probably try to like shove my shoulder into your chest and sort of like wrestle the gun away. I don't know if it works.
I think Shade will slap a triangle choke on you and release it before you lose consciousness.
So the question is, why humiliate the captain instead of leaving them guilty?
You're not going to be at 100%. You can't be. I can goddamn well get you past 60. Duct tape. I wasn't kidding. Fixes everything, even a hand like that.
And I think I just like, once you release me, like bent over and gasping, I say, fine, yes, I'll duct tape it to my hand. Hopefully, I won't need it. Hopefully,
You won't need it.
if we come at them the right way, maybe.
I'll bring enough guns for all of us then.
That would be good.
But if it makes you feel better, I won't start shooting until you say so.
You might as well shoot when you think you need to. I trust you. A little.
Get up. Dust your shoulders off. Don't think anybody else saw it.
Thanks, Shade.
Another thing between the two of us.
Well, slightly better than the last thing.
Well, I'm not bleeding out this time, so I suppose.
Okay. All right. And then so who goes next? We each get 2 turns, by the way. So
Okay.
who would like to go next? Sherry, do you have an idea?
Sure. I think I'm tempted to try something experimental and dangerous. So I'm probably working with Zuri. I recognized her as a person who has a great deal of knowledge and, well, she's agreeable to any number of tactics. So essentially, she wants to try essentially a different payload for the ship's guns. And so she's designed these shells and she's worked with you on the ballistics. Well, not ballistics, it's space, right? But on the firing mechanism and the things. But it's all been computer simulation and stuff. She's like, we're going to have to try it.
Yeah. This looks wow, I haven't seen calculations like this before. This is like totally out of the box. Where did you come up with this?
And she kind of stops and she goes, I come up with this. And you can see her kind of like trying to roll back, like, and like to find the words for it. And she kind of stops and she goes, so the tube is round, but the payload is not. So the only way I can get everything to fit correctly is to use non-routine geometries.
Non-routine. Wow, you say it like it's really easy. But that's amazing. I'm excited.
Well, so what I need you to do is just watch the simulation I understand that you have a deep training in the material science.
Mm-hmm.
I have a deep training in some material science, but not in all of it. And then,
Well, between your theory and my practical experience, I think this could really go somewhere. Why don't we try to push it?
all right.
Let's have a real, we don't need to stick to a simulation. Let's just go for the real thing. Let's find a target.
Yes. And you see her kind of look to make sure. She goes, yes, I will put in my request.
Oh, no need for a request. Let's just go for it. I'm sure the captain will be okay with it. This is great. It'll help the final mission.
You are correct. I cannot argue with that logic.
That's right. I am supremely logical. I'm a professor, you know.
What does that mean?
It means that there are some tiny things that I am smarter than other people in, and I teach them about it, but only about, because, knowledge and wisdom is vast, and professors are only really good at, tiny things. But yeah. I'm still quite logical.
So the shell is fairly large. Is it within your tiny things range?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. There is an asteroid belt where we could check it out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, I'll bring a recorder so the captain can watch it after.
Okay. Let us do this thing.
Yes. And by thing, we mean weapons testing.
Yes. Sounds a lot more something when you say it that way.
And I'm going to look at Semblance and say, oh, Semblance should come along.
And she goes, we'll see. Yes. I mean, semblance comes if semblance wishes to come.
Oh, but I have this, and I have like a backpack, the kind where the cat can see through the porthole. And I put it on. See, for semblance. Great. I made it the first time I saw them.
Huh. Well, that's up to semblance. As are all things that involve semblance.
I think at this point, you just see Zuri chasing semblance. Yeah, kitty. Get into the bag. I put in treats. I put in space treats into the bag.
It's like rattling with treats.
Yeah. Look.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so
I don't think you ever catch semblance, but when we go to get into the shuttle or whatever, semblance darts in before us.
Oh yeah, typical cat. Typical cat. You go after them and they're not interested. You give up and they go in. So.
Exactly, and they're there before you are.
Yeah,
they always win. All right, so you encourage me, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and yes, I don't even have to put a request in. This is awesome. Why do you not?
And the reason why I push you is I felt like you went through a lot during your loyalty mission with the captain, and I could feel like how you were sort of resigned to your death, and I didn't want you to feel that way. I wanted you to be excited about something, and excited with me.
All right. She is in this moment. It is a moment of selfness. So yes, weapons testing. So I don't know. There's no. Do we draw a card to see how it turns out? Is that what?
No. We just go into the next. This is just pure montage. So then the next person gets to choose.
Okay, awesome. Mm-hmm. So yes, you see us taking off with semblance to go off in the our shuttle to try this thing off. It will be great.
Absolutely. It'll go. I feel like it'll go well than expected, which is a bad thing because it encourages us further.
Exactly. Because we'll keep on tinkering, won't we? Yes, we will. All right, let's do it.
Absolutely. Okay, so Puckett, do you want to choose something for Shade next?
Sure. Something about this feels too much like old times. Do you start happily talking about the past with me, or do you open up old wounds? Why? And I think it'd be interesting if this was with Kova.
Oh, this is with. Oh yeah, right. Kova. Ooh, I like it.
What do you think we're doing, Sherry?
I think, let's see here. One of the things is if we're going into essentially the battle and stuff, we are going through the engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and we are doing all of the for the ship proper, and we are going through and deciding like where we're going to take the weight off of the ship so that
Okay.
we can keep the things. So it's like up to now this has been a classic like traveling ship, but we're getting close enough that we have to get ready for battle, and it's going through and getting rid of all of the extra weight and all of those things. And it's essentially two-person job, because it takes we pick the stuff and then we both have to acknowledge the thing to push it off into space, and then it goes flying off, so that sort of thing.
So we're moving the beat up old couches into the airlock.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love this couch. Can't even count how many times I slept on it.
I never understood that precisely. I mean, and she sort of stops and she goes, not that I'm picky, but it smells.
It does.
I mean, someone's lost their soup down that multiple times.
Yeah, most of them were me. Smells like home.
She stops. She is like, what was home like?
Worse than this, if you can believe it. Yeah. I joined up as soon as I was old enough just to get out. Because going weird places and killing weirder things made more sense and it was less dangerous.
What were the hazards in your home?
The people.
You had enemies?
That's as good a way to put it as any. It's I don't really know that it's something that translates. Not sure how your people would put it.
Was it war?
Of a sort. But fighting people that you were supposed to be fighting people you thought that were supposed to be on your side, that were supposed to be taking care of you.
Traitors. You had traitors.
You understand. Yeah, you do. I didn't know if it translates, but that word absolutely fits.
She goes, I'm a traitor.
Not like this though. You're trying to do something better. You're not trying to do something worse.
So their intent was not to improve the situation?
Do you know the word malice?
Yes, I know it. Yes, this is. So wait, they were traitors with malice. So was their purpose malice towards you and yours, or towards the community as a whole, your planet?
Yeah.
So why had they been? I mean, she sort of stops and goes. So malice implies that they wish to harm.
That's exactly right. They did it with intent.
And no intent to improve.
They did it with intent to make things worse, not just not improve.
And this benefited them how?
In the end, it didn't.
Oh, I get it. They were evil.
Yeah,
Ignorance
that is
is evil.
certainly a word. And they were also that.
Oh. And why did you trust them?
That was pretty much the first thing I learned. Not to.
So you were on the front lines? From the time you were very young?
And most of it was... And I think about this for a moment, trying to figure out how to put it. Most of it was in an undeclared war.
So I won't be able to read about it in the history books.
No. It was, think of it like a border skirmish at a really small outpost.
You see, as she is trying, like her brain is churning through it. She finally stops and she goes, I do not understand what that must have been like. Nothing that I have been in has felt small. It has always felt much, much bigger than me, and much, much bigger than what I know. I do not know if that makes what you have gone through worse because it was small and you knew it all. Is that what it was? That you understood it?
There's a reason why. I hate the captain so much.
Why?
Because about the first thing I learned was not to trust. And I only made that mistake one more time.
All right. Oh, you mean you trusted the captain? Oh man, this is...
Look where it got me. Spent 7 years in that cell.
Why were you in jail?
Did some bad things to some worse people. But at least the people who were left behind were better off for it.
What can I do to make this better?
You know, strangely enough, I think you did. Let's get rid of this couch.
All right.
Oh man, that was intense. I really loved it though. Okay. So I need to ask, why did you open up old wounds instead of happily talking about the past?
You know, I think in a weird way, kicking the couch is happily talking about the past because he has fond memories of that couch. But then at the end, realizing, no, wait a minute, somebody else actually can understand what I was going through. And it does actually translate to an entirely different cognitive process. I think that was reassuring. So, sort of opening up old wounds, but I think for Shade, it was more cathartic and like kind of maybe building something, not trust, not even trust adjacent, but understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also, did you want to add to that, Sherry, for Kova?
I think you'll see her later, like looking at his record, personnel record, and trying to find what outpost he was talking about.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so I'm going to right. Everybody picked. Is that right? Yeah. So I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick one of the captain. Uh, let's see. I'm going to pick. As we train, we end up in a compromising position.
How did I know?
Because we're too many games for you. Well, not too many. Actually, I feel like we're not enough games. I'm very greedy. And so our body's too close and our heart's even closer. Do you give in or do you pull away? Why? So I'm going to set up the scene. I think what happens is you see Zuri is learning how to train without having this entire section of her hair. Because it's kind of like a ghost limb situation. She feels like it's moving and it's grabbing things. So, but it's not there anymore. So she has to train the rest of her hair to respond. So you see her with her psychic blades training. And yeah, so how does this compromising situation happen? Like, how is the captain here?
Oh, I think the captain like walks in on just like the sight of it looking like something is awkward. And I think not even really thinking about it, I'll kind of just walk up and sort of in a not like I didn't think about it. I just like reach out and just like touch where that hair is supposed to be. And I just like, do you feel its loss?
And at this point, Zuri turns around, like overreacts and turns around, like pulling her hair like all around her to cocoon. And she's kind of nervously like stimming her hands in order to focus. And she's like, yes. And she holds up like an embarrassed hand to that side. I feel like it's still there, but you know, when I look at it logically, there's nothing there, but I still feel it, but I like the scar I got. I think it's kind of cool. I think it goes well with my tattoo. What do you think?
Zuri, you didn't need to step in the way that time. You didn't need to take the scar.
And I think she looks at you confusedly, and she says, "I didn't need to, but I had to. Captain, I have to do everything I can to protect you. That's
No,
why I'm here."
no. I am not someone to be protected. And I think like I'll like step back and kind of take it like a fighting stance and say, I can protect myself. The crew, the mission is more important than the captain. Any one of us. No one is worth dying for.
Captain, and she goes into the fighting stance and responds, "I don't think you understand. You are more important than the rest of us. You're important to the galaxy. You're a symbol of hope. You are more than yourself. You have to survive, not for yourself, but for everybody else. I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have gone on this path if it wasn't for you. And I know that's true for millions of people in the galaxy."
It's just one of so many others. There are so many others. We all had a mission to do. Mine just happened to fail so badly that it became the only thing talked about. But that doesn't make me any more important than anyone else, Suri.
Captain, there's no one else like you, and there will never be anyone else like you. That's just how it is. And for people like me, I'm replaceable. There's nothing special about me, and that's okay.
I think the captain just like frowns and says, that can't be true. It's like what Kova said, and I think she looks like sort of distracted. She's like, we are each individually ourselves, and we're unique in that way. And I'm just one person, you're just one person. And I think like Atalanta just throws her hands in the air and says, just don't throw yourself in danger for my sake anymore. Here, why don't we spar? I can show you that I can take care of myself.
Okay, sure, but don't hold back, Captain.
I won't.
And I think at this point, like, Zuri throws herself into it. Like, she takes you at your word. And this is the first time that you see what Zuri's really capable of. Like, she's been holding back this entire time because she hasn't had a chance to really display this. And I think at the last second, Zuri realizes, like, as she takes out the psychic blades and hurls herself at the captain, I think the hair overcompensates for the missing part. And that's how we end up in that compromising position, because Zuri's trying to like pull back at the last second.
And I think it's still that like I'm not at 100% thing. So like my initial reflex to like backpedal and jump out of the way falls short, and I just like fall over, which is how you end up on top of me. Nothing more compromising than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense. And then the hair's falling all around us. My hands are like have braced myself against you. And so the question is, Captain, do you give in or do you pull away, and why?
And I think I'm just so distracted by thinking about like relative importances of the crew and the mission. And I'm just like sort of my hands are like accidentally clasped around your like arms. And I don't pull away really. Like I don't make the first motion to move away. It's like kind of just realizing like your personhood. It's like, oh, you are also a person that I should pay attention to, and because I've been spending all this time arguing that we are all equally important people. And so it's sort of awkward, but I don't pull away immediately.
And I think Zuri will look at you in the eyes and she'll say, if I have to be special, can I be special to you, Captain?
And I think that snaps Atalanta out of just like her reverie, and she jerks away at that, and she's like, wait, no, I can't, not again. I can't hold you higher.
And I think I'm going to take Puckett's suggestion and run with it. About the hair caressing the captain's cheek. And I think, strangely enough, Zuri just nods and pulls away and says, that's okay. I knew I wouldn't be enough for you. And she runs off.
Oh, that is lovely.
Okay, so my gosh, that game ran longer than I thought it would. So we only have one round each. How do we feel about leaving the montage here, or do we want to go for another round? Yeah. What do you think, Puckett?
I think if we go for another round, we're probably going to need another session, or we'll leave the game incomplete.
Yeah, definitely.
So while I would like to go for another round,
mm-hmm.
I also don't want to put us in a position where it is 10:50 at night for us, or 11:50, or whatever, and all of us are exhausted, and we are one game, maybe a game and a half in to finishing the second round of games.
Yeah, so we can let's see. So we can finish this one at this, I think, for this particular game, for the only one shot to make it right, the training montage. Yeah, so we can each draw a card, and just a reminder, the playing card program is a little iffy, so we have to announce when we're going to draw cards. How about we go in order of who picked what? I think it was the captain who picked the first game, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So I am drawing a card now. Maybe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2.
Ooh, okay. So that's how many tokens? That is 1 token.
So I get to decide.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to give it or give it to someone else?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it to someone. I'm going to give it to. I want to give it to the broken.
Oh yeah.
But I've gone all this way with no tokens. Why'd you break up a perfect streak?
Nice. In the chat, take the token. And then who went next? I think it was our Crystal. It was Sharp who went next, right? Okay, go ahead. Ooh, an ace. Ooh, okay. So could you read that out, Sherry? Oh, whoops, I think you muted.
So ace, reveal a painful truth about your shared past or reveal a dark mystery. Well, wait, we're in the wrong thing, right? If only I was in the right place, but I'm not. What color is it?
Oh no, I think you're in the right one. The red one. It's slightly
The
different.
red one. Okay. So good. So reveal. Okay, yeah. All right. Reveal a painful truth about your shared past, or reveal a dark mystery that could spell our doom. And I take one token. Yeah, I think what we see is there's a cutaway, and we see Kovac sitting at the helm, and he kind of does this, and he takes his tooth out, and it's clearly crystal. And there's the reveal that he's one of mine, but in hiding.
Oh no! So the question is, did the captain's ex really come back, or is it someone pretending to be the captain's ex, or
Yeah. Could this be, a fancy, tooth replacement, an implant?
Yeah. I love Maria's face like that. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And then next, Shade, why don't you draw a card?
7 of clubs.
Nice. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot to ask. Sherry, who do you want to give the 1 token to? Yourself or someone else?
I think I have one already, so I'll add it to my pool of tokens.
Okay, got it. And then, sorry, go ahead, Puckett. You pulled a 7. So, 3 tokens. How do you want to distribute it?
It's 3 tokens?
Yeah, you pulled a 7, right?
And 5 to 8 says take 2.
Oh, sorry, that's right. 2. Mm-hmm.
I'll just give them to the captain.
The captain's like overflowing. I love Maria's faces. Okay, I will also go ahead and pull. I got a royal. Oh gosh. Introduce a complication. Choose. Give 1 token to minimize it or gain 1 token to deepen it. You know what? I'm going to deepen it. I'll gain 1 token. I'll give it to myself. I'm going to say that the complication is the would-be fiance that Zuri left behind contacts Kovac, and you can hear her voice over the comms. It's a private channel between the two, and she says, "Have you successfully infiltrated yourself? I'm going to take back Zuri no matter what." I love everybody's faces. I will give a name to the fiance in a bit. I'm just kidding. Sci-fi name generator, as usual. Thank you so much, internet, for the bounty of knowledge. I'm gonna call her. Quality. I like that. Gonna type that here, but also put it Yeah, very cool, very cool. Okay, so that is that game. All right, so yes, we still have an hour left, right? Am I right? Yeah. I'm looking at the time. So I like wait, sorry, I got confused about what I'm trying to share on the screen. Let me share the right one. So technically what we're supposed to do is everybody chooses another game, but I think we're having so much fun playing these characters that it's hard to keep to the time. What do you think? I still think we have enough time for like another game or two, and then we go into the final mission. So I think it should work out. Let's just try one game, and then depending on how it goes, we might have to go into the final mission. But what does everybody feel about it? Yeah? Okay. I feel like the captain should choose again though. But does anybody have it? Like Korea's face is like, no. Because I'm gonna be honest, if I'm gonna choose, I'm gonna choose the last time we touched. So just putting it out there. For the captain, but also possibly for Sharp. I don't know. So we'll see. But what other ideas do we have for our other game before the final mission? Do you have an idea, Sherry?
I don't know. I'm like kind of all revved up for any of it, so I don't think that I have a choice. I'm ready to react at any point or listen because this has been awesome. So
And Puckett wrote in the chat, the next game is called Make the Captain Feel Even Worse. Yes. I'll let Maria decide. Maria, what do you think?
I am thinking, who do you think you are? Nah. Or I never did trust you.
Ooh, do you want to go intense? Technically, you and the Broken haven't like had a game together, but you could also play with someone else if you like.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this last time we had a lot of things that are like questionable happen.
I kind of have an idea,
Okay.
but it involves I never did trust you.
Oh, okay. Let's go for it.
But it might require a little bit of a tweak based on the fiction we've established.
Okay.
Oh, are you thinking about Kovac?
Oh no.
But the thing is, no one's playing Kovac though, so it's like I'd prefer it if it were PC.
Okay. We can still do I never did trust you.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is the one where like the captain and the Broken's trust is the most fragile. I feel
bold of you to assume that there's any of it.
Just yeah, one token. So let's do this one and see what happens. Is that okay? Because this is one we need to check in because it is
Fine
the
by
one.
Me. Yeah. So just as a reminder, it's possible to end in character death. So we will always check in, and it's not like an absolute, right? The game is just a guideline. So there is that. Okay.
Is this when we turn Mass Effect 2 into trophy?
Technically, this still sort of happened in Mass Effect 2, like even without going trophy. Because if the captain didn't intervene, I think Jack and Miranda would have killed one another. So, okay. All right. So, do you feel like, does it make sense if the captain chose to play this or if Shade chose to play this?
I think it'd be interesting if the captain chose it as a last-ditch effort to try to rebuild trust or something along those lines.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Okay, so go ahead and read through the setup, Maria.
Okay, so setup. Warning, only play this game if you're comfortable with possible betrayal, character death, and the like. Ask your chosen partner why you've grown suspicious of each other. Where does this tense conversation take place? So some ideas are near the ship's core, where sensitive machinery is vulnerable, in the hangar with the bay doors open, in the shooting range, safety off. No one else may join this game. But during the conversation, anyone can ask for details about the relationship and circumstances. So maybe it's like, I feel like Shade is probably making a lot of comments to the captain about Kovac and not letting that past die. And maybe there's just so much questioning of what the plan is and questioning whether there is a plan that I start to wonder, like, are you even going to help? Even though I said that I trusted you, but like maybe like a doubt has come back that maybe I shouldn't have trusted you.
Figures. Just what I expect from somebody who left me in a hole for 7 years already.
So where is this happening?
Are you asking for a suggestion?
Or you could just say where I would.
Yeah, the idea is like a location that feels tense, where things could go wrong, basically. So, like near the ship's core, where the sensitive machinery is vulnerable, in the hangar, the bay doors open, in the shooting range, safety off. So something along those lines.
I mean, what if we had put down someplace because some repair work needed to be done on the engines and you and I were walking on the planet's surface so that no one else could see us, where we were, what was going on, or hear what was being said. So if one person comes back without the other, there will be even more questions.
Yeah. And I think in my head, I was thinking maybe this is like a desert planet and there's just like a severe drop off, not like far away where we've gone. So there's just like a cliff there.
Some kind of canyon?
Yeah. A canyon. The best place for a tense confrontation.
I feel like this is turning into Pasiones.
Okay. So to begin the confrontation, choose a leading attack. The player who chose the game goes first. The other answers the question and chooses a defensive maneuver. And then ending the confrontation. Once 3 exchanges are made, both players draw a card. The player with the highest card chooses an ending. Aces are always high. In case of a tie, both players make a choice and decide what happens. Decide together if you say what happens as a result of that choice, or draw a card and let fate intervene. Okay, so leading attacks. I try to confront you head on, but I falter. A shared memory of ours plagues me. Why are you the most important person to me? Like, why is it so important that I earn your trust?
Because you know what you did to me. You know that out of everybody, I had it worst after I met you.
So I have a question. You have a very strong sense, Shade, of that this was a personal betrayal. And you're a trained officer. So I want to see what are the scenes that have built that sense in you that this was a personal choice and essentially a betrayal.
Hmm. It's a whole lot of sessions with Kovac. Giggling, adjourning to quarters before the duty shift was up, stolen kisses, a whole lot of stuff the captain did when she thought nobody was watching. I saw enough of it. So when the captain ran after Kovac and left me bleeding out instead of trying to stabilize me, I knew it wasn't the mission. It wasn't tactics. I don't even think it was love. It was just another fling the captain had that got in the way.
So was it jealousy?
It was that the captain was making a decision that wasn't based on tactics. I'd have been fine with it if she'd left me bleeding out because the mission demanded it. That wasn't it at all.
So you found something out later that confirmed that she was going to be with Kovac.
Didn't need to. Everything leading up to it, that was more than enough proof. I mean, I don't know about you, Kova, but I never stayed in the captain's quarters. I never left the captain's quarters after several hours in there, looking around the corridors, trying to make sure nobody saw me coming out.
Oh, wait, is Kovac in the scene?
Said Kova.
Ah, oh, technically this is Sherry asking. It's just the two of you in this confrontation.
Yeah, I was asking for like the scene, like your mental flashbacks.
I see.
Right, and don't forget to answer the question, why is Shade the most important person to the captain?
I think that's a question for the captain.
No, that's a question for you. They ask and you answer.
Why am I the most important person to the captain? Dot already answered that. I'm the one that suffered the most after that. Suffered the most during, because of, after.
Yeah,
I didn't have much of a life before that, but I sure didn't have one after.
Yeah, I feel like we could reveal more about your character because we're so hyper focused on that moment of like them leaving you behind. But yeah, let's see where it goes. So, what is your defensive maneuver?
I catch you doing something you promised me you'd never do. What is it?
Or do you have to ask from defensive maneuvers? Or
Yeah, from defensive maneuvers.
Oh. Once again, my bad.
That's okay.
I remind you how much you owe me. Why can't you ever repay me?
I think you were one of my first crew people, and like you were from the first time like we put the ship together, you have been there, and I think that you helped take us. You were part of the reason why every single other battle we've ever fought before the last one we won. And I can't ever repay you because then I would be admitting to you that I really am nothing without you as a captain. And that's like more, that's just a whole other thing aside from my guilt that I wouldn't have been in the position to hurt you that badly
if I hadn't put you there.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, so next, Shay, choose a leading attack.
I catch you doing something you promised me you'd never do. What is it?
Is that in the scene or is it something that could have happened
Ooh.
easily?
Technically, it's supposed to be in the scene because I catch you doing it. Like, so
Okay.
we're by the canyon, the ship, and everybody else in it is far away.
I promise you that I'd never do it. I am throwing away records of the past into the canyon. I think it's hard to get rid of like digital files, but I think that I'm just sitting there like this is probably why I've come out this far so that I'm not near the crew, the rest of the crew as I do this, but I'm sitting there and I'm just like deleting logs off like a tablet that says anything about any of the battles we were ever in before.
Ooh, maybe there's something special about the place where, like, if you delete it here, it deletes every other instance of it existing in the network somehow.
Like there's a satellite or some sort of
weird radiation or something?
Yeah, like it's cloaking the whole planet.
Ooh, cool. I like. So, what defensive maneuver do you pick, Captain?
I think as I'm going through these logs, like there are a few things that I read out occasionally, and I remind you of the good times we had together before what I did. So what are they?
One of them's probably that time I got busted down 2 ranks after that bar fight on Rigel 2.
Yeah.
Tore the hell out of that place.
We haven't changed very much since. Bar fights are still a common occurrence.
You didn't run from that one.
I had a whole hand back then.
Whole hand. You got 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 elbows, another hand in your head. What else do you need?
Not carrying everything we've gone through since then.
Like I said, duct tape.
Will duct tape patch this crew together?
Probably not.
Well, then I need something more than duct tape.
Yeah.
And then I get to ask a leading attack?
Yeah, you do. And this is the
The last.
exchange before the ending. Mhm.
You let slip that you know more than you let on. What do I suspect?
Kovac doesn't remember things they should remember.
You've been talking?
Enough.
I guess I should ask, you've been prying?
Are you implying that I give a shit about something? I'm just saying that there's holes in their memory. Stuff that's in the files. They seem to remember that.
What are they not remembering?
Well, they remember things like where a battle happened, what the outcome was.
But not.
Funny thing. You remember those pirates who hijacked that freighter? Got called in to take them out, arrest them.
The one that
Well, they weren't too particular about what we did to deal with them as long as we dealt with them.
I remember that. It turned into a bloodbath.
Yeah, it did. And you remember Kovac got shot 3 times right in the abdomen.
Yep, that was. He wasn't supposed to make it through that one. But somehow it worked out.
Funny thing.
No memory?
Not only no memory, but no scars.
How have you seen Kovac's abdomen?
Training.
I see. And does he know? Do they know that you know this?
I think if they did, I would have been in an airlock already.
How do I know that you're not just telling me this because you know what's happened between the two of us in the past?
Because it's easy enough for you to check. You could walk right back on that ship right now. And if it's to Kovac, and you say the right thing, you'll be back in your quarters fucking the rest of us.
And I think the captain just looks very intently down.
I'm just saying it's an easy way for you to check on the scars. See if I'm telling the truth.
I can't talk to go back more than I need to.
Well,
But I guess
seems to me you got a what did we used to call it? A binary choice. You either believe me or you don't.
seems that way.
Ooh, is it time for a defensive maneuver?
I think so.
What do you choose, Shade?
I get angry and bring up the past in the most painful way possible. What do I say? As if everything up to now has been sweetness and light.
I think you bring up all the other times we've dealt with a threat and it's turned into a bloodbath instead of being dealt with cleanly. I think you just like dig up all of those memories that I'm trying to throw away, but it's like one after the other you list off the pirates, the like the ship of diplomats or something that we thought was someone else or there's a spy. And it's just like
You
every
mean
time
that
you say
those
something,
diplomats we torpedoed instead of bothering to check their identities?
that one.
Yeah. Wrote that one off as engine failure, didn't we?
I think we said sensors. I just hope this mission, we don't screw it up. I don't screw it up.
If you do, I'm not going to give you a chance to screw up another one.
I almost
Just so
wouldn't fight.
Just so you know. Just so we're clear on where we stand.
I think it's always been clear.
Okay, are we ready to draw cards and choose an ending?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Both players draw one card once again. Please be gentle. Draw one at a time from our room. Who would like to go first?
Shade, why don't you go first?
Ten of diamonds.
Ooh. My turn. An 8 of diamonds. You have the higher card. Oh no.
Okay, so I'm just sharing it. Okay, so choose an ending.
So many good choices.
Yeah, I was cackling while I was writing this part, if I'm going to be honest.
I bet you were.
I was just like, while I was typing. And my partner was like, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to pick something that I suspect might make Maria happy.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. We share a moment of intimate vulnerability. One of us bears our heart.
Or
Yeah, because you can choose if fate intervenes or not. So, yeah.
You said, look, I know you like exposition about feelings.
That's in other games.
Oh, so only in other games.
Okay, fine. Yes, there will be feelings. More public feelings. 2 sessions to feelings, really? That seems too fast. So
But
do
who
I?
want to bear the heart, though?
Who gets to pick that?
That's a good question. I think in this case, like since Shade chose one aspect, maybe it's fair if you choose the other aspect, Captain. Like who bears their heart? What do you think, Shade? Though.
That or draw a high card.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that.
Sure.
So whoever draws the highest card has to bear their heart.
Whoever draws the highest card chooses who bears their heart.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like choices.
Yeah, I like the idea of like highest has to bear. That's kind of cute.
Okay.
That's kind of adorable.
Let's move that 8 and the 10 out of the way.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
I go. That's a queen. Well then.
Okay.
9 of diamonds.
It turned out exactly how you wanted.
The cards have spoken.
It's a heart too.
Fate has intervened.
Yeah. I think that at the end, as we're sitting, I think I've been like sitting on the edge. I've like moved to sitting on the edge of the canyon.
Legs dangling over the edge.
Yeah, legs dangling over the edge. And I think as I like push myself to standing position and like the wind is blowing, I think I just like look at you straight in the eye and I say, I'm tired of this, Shade. I'm only here because they said if we did this one thing, we could end all of the fighting that's been going on. And they said, maybe if I got together the same crew, we would be able to learn from our mistakes. And now I'm not really sure. Kova Kova's smart. Kova knows their own people and seems to think we might be able to pull it off. Zuri is, I don't know, Zuri. She's too young, too optimistic. And then there's you, who I want to be able to trust, but I don't know if I can. And I just, once we get this done, we can all go separate ways and no longer have to live with this past. And I think as soon as she says we don't have to live with the past, she like falters because she knows that Shade is probably going to say something about how he can't not live with the past. And she just stands there staring at him with like her hands like in fists.
Well, first thing you need to remember about me, I'm not the kind who's going to stab you in the back. Comes down to it. You'll be facing me, and you'll have a gun in your good hand.
Let's go ahead.
I don't know, it's so much that we learn from our mistakes as we are our mistakes. But regret's a powerful fuel.
You don't have to tell me that. That's what I've been
They say
running
about
on.
fuel. Don't smoke near it. It's prone to explode. And, you know, I figure I'm brittle enough that I'd make a hell of a fragmentation bomb. So at least there's that.
Okay. And so actually, the captain still has to draw a loyalty card.
Oh, okay. It's a 4.
Gosh. Okay. Take 1 token, and captain, who gets a token?
I think I'll take it.
I love that reaction.
Just trying to figure out if I could go with the shade, but I feel like I probably ended up.
And
Yeah.
yay. Okay, so which brings us to how's everybody feeling? Do we feel okay with pushing for the last game, or do we want to take a 5-minute break first?
I'm good with going on.
Okay, all right, but just let me know, right? Like even in the middle of the game, if anybody needs to step away and stuff. So, all right, we are in it. So, okay, I'm gonna admit this is gonna be tougher because we didn't get the full like set of rounds. We are missing like 3 games, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 challenges to face. I don't mind still facing all 7 for maximum tragedy, but I'm also okay with, because like other people have ran this game and what they did was they just like did less challenges. But how's everybody feeling about it?
I'm okay with maximum tragedy.
This is the captain.
Why stop now?
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read out the game. All right, let me just obsessively zoom in. Okay, once more into the void. So this is the last game. Everyone plays. During the final mission, anyone can ask anyone for details about the relationships and circumstances. Everyone makes one last loyalty draw before playing the game. Right, so everyone still gets to draw 1 card. We'll get to that. Sorry, fuck, it's comment. We're playing to lose. This is true. The truth is, I design all my games for us to play to lose. But anyway, so we'll get to the loyalty draw in a bit. Then each player decides whether to keep the tokens they received or give them to the captain, if any. It's so funny. I wrote this into the last part, but so far we've all been giving our tokens to the captain. So conducting the final mission, there are 7 challenges. Go around the table, and on your turn, choose a challenge to face. Answer the question and draw a card to reveal the outcome and cost. If you cannot pay the cost, right, because it's between 4 to 6 tokens each time. Choose one. I perish and die heroically. I flee, revealing my cowardice. I ask if anyone will pay the cost for me. If the answer is no, I choose another option, or my fate remains unknown. So as a crew, we must face all 7 challenges to complete the final mission. And ending the... Ooh, I found another typo. It should be final mission. Let me just write that down. Then ending the final mission. Once the final mission is completed, everyone chooses 1 epilogue question and answer freely. Okay, are we ready for it?
Do we have a chance to reallocate tokens to people before this?
No. So the only way we do it is if you ask someone else to pay the cost for you.
Okay. So the next question, what happens if someone does not pay the cost and dies or disappears? What happens to their tokens? Does that get reallocated to the group?
Nope.
Okay.
It's intense, guys. So we'll see. This is what playtesting is for, but I did think about those things for maximum intensity. But we'll see. Yeah, because we may be able to reallocate, if that makes sense. Maybe we can have a scene where you give your hope to someone else, and that's why they get the tokens. I'm cool with that. But let's see how it goes. I love how everybody looks so tense. Okay, so let's draw first. Once again, let's go one by one. I think let's go in character keeper order. So we'll start with the captain.
Okay, I am drawing a card. It is a 2. I will take 1 token.
1 token. Okay. And did someone draw the 4, or was that from something else?
It was from before.
Okay. Got it.
Did my card not? Oh, I dragged the 2 all the way over there.
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah.
So me next?
Yeah, that's
right. All right. Yeah. Oh, I got a 9, and then I flipped it over again. There we go. Yay, a 9! So I get 3 tokens.
Yes. Do you keep it or give it to the captain?
I think I'll give it because it means I can take care of one thing if it's a 6.
Ooh, see, that's a good part of that. I'm glad we're playtesting.
And I will say, because she has a plan of her own that she hasn't told anyone about.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. So much faith. And I'm going to draw a card as well. Oh my gosh, I tried to draw it from StreamYard. Jammy focus. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, a 3. So that means 1 token. Let's see. I'll keep it so that I can do one of these things. And I'll justify it as Zuri has sort of been keeping her distance, knowing that the captain is uncomfortable with things. And last but not least, Shade, draw your card.
I'm sure this will go fantastically. 5 of hearts.
Hearts. Okay, so on a 5, 2 tokens. So do you keep them or give them to the captain?
I'm going to kick them over to the captain. I ain't going to need them.
Oh, Broken, why are you still just at 2 tokens? Because I remember you got 1 earlier and 1 at our last session.
I thought I only had 1.
I remember you got 1 last session because we were talking about that. And then earlier, the captain insisted on you getting 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You should have at least 1. I don't know. I don't remember the other one, but it's all gone.
I only remember the 1.
Yeah, because we had when we started the session today, you already had the 1 of the character keeper.
Fine, I'll take 2 tokens.
Just saying.
Then I might as well keep the 2 from the last draw because that'll give me 4, and I can actually do something with that.
Yeah, be useful, Broken. You got this.
I beg your pardon. I am a bullet sponge. I know my utility.
Okay, so let's go in character keeper order again. Captain, why don't you choose the first challenge?
I don't have to pick an order?
No, any of them.
Okay. They're so hard to pick. Okay. I will pick. Our ship, equipment, or technology fails us at a crucial moment. How did the enemy sabotage us? Draw 1 card and reveal the outcome and cost.
Okay, so answer the question first. How did the enemy sabotage us? In the chat.
What does the chat say?
The chat says Kovac in like capitals.
Yeah. Yes. I think as we were approaching, I don't know if it's a planet or maybe just, it's probably a planet. And we start our descent. I think we find that our engines are not providing any thrust. And I think that if we go and look into our engines, it's like this weird crystalline structure has just like jammed up the fusion core so that there's not actually anything coming out of them. So we're just kind of floating in space, sort of drifting. So now we will draw a card. And it is a red card.
Phew. Okay.
So what strange science saves us at the last moment? Pay 4 tokens.
Do you want to pay it yourself or ask one of us to do it? Though you do have a lot of tokens.
I have so many tokens. But I
Metagaming, you might want to save those since you have the biggest store of them in case you start running into 6s.
Yeah.
You can absorb 2 6s and a 4 with your token count.
Yeah. I think I was gonna ask either Zuri or Kova.
Yeah, I could do it.
Because they were playing with experiments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you are a science, super person.
Yeah, cool. So we're choosing the option ask if someone else will pay the cost. I'll pay the 4. And the way this happens is I come in and I say, "Don't worry, Captain. I got this. Absolutely." And I come in and my hair starts to just completely cover all of the controls as my hands dance around everything. And I say, they thought this could last long, but little did they know that Kova taught me all that I needed in order to get past this. And I start releasing an algorithm that frees the engines from the crystalline structures. And at the very last second, the thrusters come back to life right before we start to completely go into free fall through the planet's atmosphere. And yes, through non-routine geometries, I learned that. That's how I did it. Thanks, Sherry. And okay, so next in character keeper order, that means our reform chooses a challenge. Ooh, I think you're muted, Sherry.
Yeah. I think the enemy outnumbers us. We are outmatched and outgunned. Why are we unprepared? So I think that, let's see here. I think that when we do catch the ship back and we bring it up and we sort of break across the horizon, it's sort of the enemy, my people, reveal themselves, and it is a sort of set of crystalline ships, but also just like this field of so many individuals that's right there. And we see it sort of like pause and then flash towards us. So let's see here. Why are we unprepared? We were prepared to meet an army of them. We were not prepared to be caught out at this moment with this much preparation on their thing.
Ooh, makes sense.
Okay.
Like they knew we were coming.
So I have to draw a card.
Yeah, is it red or black?
Let's see. It's black.
Ah!
That's not good.
But you do have 6 tokens if you want.
I do. Let's see here. So this is, what foolish gambit do I make that costs us dearly? Wait, that doesn't sound like a good thing. I'm paying tokens to cost us dearly?
Because the idea is it costs more tokens than normal.
Yeah. I know what it is. You know those payloads? Yeah? she asks you to essentially set the thing for those to fire off, and then she goes, I will watch," and she leaves. You never see her again because she's the payload. And so essentially, she essentially fires herself up, and like all of that crystalline stuff, she shards herself all across the length of them with that idea, the idea of self. How's that for a cost
Yeah,
thinking of it?
I like it. I
Still got to
like
get
it.
out of here alive, people.
Very cool, very cool. And we'll see what happens. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll reform or something. But yeah, I like it. Um, and then next, I will choose. Ooh, my past catches up with me, but I have no choice but to face it. Why must I face it alone? And I think at this moment, like I'm seeing what Kova did. I'm trying to stop her from doing it. Like I'm crying at the console, trying to stop it from happening, and it's too late. And then that's when my would-be fiance Quality shows up, and she. At first, I think it's just a hologram. I think she's just like contacting me from afar, but then she reaches out to touch me, and I pull back. Uh, and I know I have to face it alone because there isn't enough time. We're overwhelmed. We're surrounded by the enemy. I know that if I say something, people will be distracted from the mission. And I remember the captain said that the mission always has to come first. So, I'm going to draw a card and see how that goes. Okay. Of course, it's a black. So, which means black. How does my pride cost me? Oh, that's so accurate. I think I feel like I can take her on by myself, but I don't realize like this whole time I've never actually seen what she's really capable of. Um, and I think I've learned all that I can, but she still has me at a disadvantage. So I'm going to choose. I'm going to ask if someone will pay the cost for me. It is 6 tokens though, so.
I think that I will pay that cost because I can. And I think as like she's physically attacking you. I think that it's weird because we're not like ship battles or sort of at a distance and yet so close. So I've sort of been running from station to station, and I just was running by when I see this happen, and I launch myself because you're one of my crew. I can't let you die, especially now that I've seen Kova just shatter themselves. So it's like I do have a gun duct taped to my hand. And I think I just like, it's like a tackle, and then I scramble up and sort of cold-bloodedly shoot your fiance.
That is absolutely okay. And I think when you do, I look shocked for a moment, and then I look at you and I say, that was great.
Are you okay? What?
I'm sorry, Captain. I should have been more careful. I didn't think Quality would show up here. I thought she understood when I said how important this mission was. Let's just focus on the task at hand, Captain. Let's do what we can.
And the captain like nods because that is 100% the thing to do.
Okay, and then our broken, please choose a challenge.
Everything's falling apart. It's going to take all of our skill and nerve to navigate through this hellscape. And it's black.
No! Oh my gosh. So what
And
should
I know how I become a liability. I get shot about a dozen times. None of it's going to kill me. But one leg is really, really badly shot up. And the other leg took out a kneecap. So I'm not walking anywhere.
Okay, so what do you choose? Knowing that you have 4 tokens, so if you perish, we could possibly lose those tokens and not be able to access them again. Let the captain help you. Let the captain help you.
I mean, I'm thinking if the captain does, we could actually do all 7 challenges.
Yeah.
You can cause the captain pain by making me relive the past incident that is very much like this.
But then choose to help you instead of leaving you behind.
But of course, being me, I'm yelling something like, go. I'll make sure the way back's clear. I'll hold the point for you.
And have you yell at me for the rest of my life that I did this to you twice?
Probably wouldn't be yelling, but maybe in your head.
My life might not be very long after this, but I think I can make this choice this time. And I think I drag you to the sick bay and just start squirting some magical medical gel.
Metagel, yes.
Metagel, yes.
In Mass Effect, yes.
Yes, I find many Metagel boxes, containers. And I just throw them at you. It's like, now you can't say that I've left you to bleed out twice.
I was really looking forward to that.
Sorry to disappoint.
Go to hell. Oh, wait, we're already there.
All right, so Captain, take off the tokens. Woo, okay. Oh, all right. We are back to the Captain. Which challenge do you choose?
Oh. I pick we are confronted by something unreal, horrifying, and larger than life. How is this monstrosity my fault?
Dang.
I think we find out that it's not just Kova's people that are part of this, that are part of our enemy. It's like the other people who've suffered because of my tactical brilliance, and I think we're confronted by this knowledge that in all of the stuff that we've done in the past, we've hurt so many people, and they all want to take their vengeance on us. So I'm going to draw a card. It's red.
Okay. A red card. Okay, so that means either you or the broken can handle this.
So what weakness do I reveal to destroy it? Pay 4 tokens. I think... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, that's the one. I think... Do you want to pay it the broken?
Why not? I love a target-rich environment.
So what weakness do you reveal to destroy it?
Is that me or the broken?
Ooh, technically the broken if they're paying the tokens.
Okay.
Yeah, good question though.
The weakness is that anything resembling a shred of morality or ethics left me a long time ago. And I have absolutely no problems just emptying clip after clip after clip after clip into anything that's moving.
Nice. Okay. All right, next challenge. So technically, because Kova didn't choose, you still paid the token, so you can still technically choose a challenge. And then you can decide if you're going to perish, flee, or ask someone else to pay. I think. How do you feel about it, Sherry?
So I can do that. So we have to do 7, right? Like,
Yeah.
So it's whether I choose one or not. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right. How about an old friend appears and betrays us at a critical moment?
Oh yeah.
Why can't we raise our weapon against them? And how about because it looks like Kova?
Ooh, nice.
And it talks like Kova. And then I have to pull a thing. So we have like one chance here. Ooh, I got a king of red.
Okay.
4.
Okay. Very good. Oh, I'm so stressed. I was like, please don't be black. But it's still up to you. Do you want the captain to pay, or do you want to choose one of the options like perish, flee, or your
If I
fate
choose perish or flee,
the tokens don't have to be spent. Yeah.
yeah, the tokens. Oh, yes. I think that what I will do is, I think that what's going to happen is there's a sort of running gunfight throughout the ship. In the end, Kova gets, um, uh, and it is literally, I believe, Shade who chases her down because he has no shred of mercy. And he obliterates her again, and I'll just go out. My fate remains unknown. It's not, you don't know whether it was a traitor or not in some ways because it was pretty convincing. New things they shouldn't have all of those things. So, does that seem good? Are you good with that, Shade, for being the one who?
I'm okay with that.
She did tell you she was a traitor, by the way. So
yeah, true. So do you feel like you're technically choosing to flee?
yeah, I would say fate remains unknown. So we don't know if it was Kova or.
Yeah, I like it. I like that so much. Okay, woo, y'all, we're at the last one. I can't believe the believer has to answer this question, but it makes sense. So I will read it out loud. The only way we're getting, am I right? Yeah. I double check. Okay. The only way we're getting past this horror is if I confess a dark secret to you. My fear overwhelms me. Oh gosh, it has to be a dark secret. Um, I think what's going to happen is that Zuri will go up to the captain and say, "Captain, this is all my fault."
What do you mean?
I I was doing the research. I hoped it wasn't true. I hoped that by joining on the mission, I could prove that it wasn't my fault, but it is, and I have to face it. The reason why our enemy is so strong, why they've been able to come back, is because I was doing research. I was just trying to find out more about them. I didn't know that I was helping them to become stronger without meaning to.
And you didn't tell me this before?
I didn't realize it until now, not until I saw what Kova did and seeing what Shade had to do. But Captain, I promise I'm going to make this right. And I'm going to draw a card to see if it's red or black. So, dun dun dun. Okay, let's see. It's a red. Oh my
That's
god,
a good card.
that's a good card, and it's a heart card too. Okay, so I'm so stressed. How do you comfort me when I reveal it? Um, and can I ask you to pay the 4 tokens?
Yes. I'll pay the 4 tokens. So the question I'm answering then is, how do I comfort you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm just like, you've spent your life researching the enemy, inadvertently making them stronger. How could you have known? This isn't your fault. You thought you were helping. All that matters now is that now you know, and now you can use the fact that you know against them.
You're right. We can still have the upper hand. I just need to focus. Captain, can you hold my hand while I do this?
Zuri,
I just need to know this is real.
okay. If that's what it takes, then yes. And I will take my non-duct tape to a gun hand and hold your hand.
And I'll say, I wasn't planning on surviving this, but it looks like we're going to make it. And at that moment, with one hand, I start trying to dive into the code, into the research, finding that last vulnerability, uh, and finding that one opening we need. And I think the way it looks like is we get to the core of the hive mind, and I say to myself, this is for Kova, so that we could all be ourselves. Okay, and that is the final mission. I know we went right up to the time, but does everybody have a little more time for the epilogue? Does anybody need to sign off?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, Puckett, how are you feeling? Okay, all right. So we got confirmation through the chat. Woo! I was really looking at the if you didn't survive the final mission like parts already. I was preparing myself. Okay, so for our, let me just double check. I think that's it, right? Yes. Epilogue questions. Okay, so if you didn't survive the final mission, if you survived, and if your fate remains uncertain. So wow, 3 of us survived the final mission, so we get to choose one from those questions. And for Kova, whose fate remains uncertain, they choose one. So I feel like I kind of want the captain to go last. Does that make sense? But what do you feel about it, Maria?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, so I think I'll go first, and then we can see what question Shade chooses. So the question I'm going to answer is, ooh. Oh gosh, which one do I choose? I think I'm going to choose what new heartbreak changes me. What do I yearn for? And I think the heartbreak was just knowing that Quality, my would-be fiance, was capable of such betrayal. Like I had taken for granted that we were really friends. But also I think the heartbreak of losing Kova, like that was just like the toll of that and losing a new friend. Um, like I still believe, but now I finally felt the pain and the trauma that everybody else have been talking about. But what I yearn for a way to reform Kova. I think I spend a lot of time researching, seeing if it's possible. Um, and I don't know if it is, but that's definitely what Zuri is working on. But yeah, okay. And then Shade. I have a feeling I know which one you're going to choose, but which one do you choose?
What strange events occur before I disappear, never to be seen again? Is that what you were figuring out I was going to pick?
Oh, yes.
The first strange event is a mass breakout from the Supermax slam at Centauri 7. And as rescue ships show up, they come upon an absolutely horrifying scene, which is that, as near as anyone can tell, all the prisoners are gone and the prison itself has been vented. So as they're flying in, they have bodies bumping off of their ships. And a few days after that, news organizations start reporting on files from Centauri 7 that show systemic abuse of prisoners, illegal fighting rings, illegal executions, and so on. But Shade, he gone.
Oh, dang. I love that. All right. And our epilogue for Kova. So you choose from If Your Fate Remains Uncertain.
Yeah. So I think who comes across me or what remains of me and how does it haunt them? And I think what remains of me is semblance. And I think that semblance just, let's see here, probably just settles into Zuri's life. Watches
Aw.
over research. Is just there all the time. And I'm sorry, but you've lost one of your pillows. That's where semblance sleeps. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I always wear the bag hoping Semblance will go in it, and Semblance never does. Like it's like 1/3 full of treats now. It just rattles as I wear it.
That sounds right.
I love it. I love it. Okay, and Captain. So, whoop, hello, Cat. Did you get jealous? So that's Merlin. Captain, choose from if you survive the final mission. It could be something we chose too, by the way. So,
I think the one that hasn't been chosen yet also works. So I will pick what regret do I finally let go of and who helps me to do so. And I think the regret that I let go of is like, are my choices in the previous times we've gone up against the enemy, and how I've been so reminded by my crew of how I let them down because of the mission and because of Kovac, potentially. But now that this time around I fixed it, like I didn't let Shade bleed out this time. And this time we found out that Kovac was not really Kovac. So, and I managed to not do anything insensible with Siri. So I think the regret that I've let go of is that this time I've proven myself to not be the failure that last time. And I think who helps me to do so? I think it's the news of the strange events that have been happening surrounding the Supermax prison. It's like this reminder that Shade's off in the world somewhere now, probably. And whatever happened with the crew, I held up my side of the bargain and didn't let them down, so they can do whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so technically there's one last question only if any of us wants to answer it. If you're feeling brave enough or you're not quite ready to let go of these characters and their stories just yet, choose one question, choose freely, answer it yourself, or have someone else answer it for you. Answer freely. Does anyone want to answer any of the questions? Go ahead.
I think that one of the moments that Kova sends off into her people without any intent is the story of the traders at the small outpost and that sort of confusion and trying to understand that.
Ooh, I like that a lot. And I think I'm going to answer, what memory of mine do I wish I could preserve in Amber? And I think what Zuri is holding on to as she continues to research on Kova and their people and try to find a way to connect everybody to the enemy towards peace. I think what Zuri holds on to is that memory of holding on to the captain's hand. So, Maria or Puckett, would you like to answer, or are you ready to let go of your characters?
I think I'm good with getting Shade out of my head.
I kind of feel like letting go of the regret was also an ending.
True, absolutely. Okay, so that is basically once more Into the Void. We went a little over time. But I'm gonna stop the recording in a bit, and then we can, if anybody has time to decompress after, we can do that. But for everybody who's watching, thank you so much for watching. I can't believe most of us survived. Like, that looks really dicey. I'm so amazed. But yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and yeah, see you later.